Hello and welcome to the Relevate live stream. We've got Amanda here and I'm Avon, and today we're going to be talking about OKRs. Is that OKR with you?
That is perfectly OKR with me.
That's a horrendous pun. I'll never do that again.
That was great.
That's a lie. I'll probably do it tomorrow. So, so if you haven't watched this video, and even if you have, I'll probably try it with you. So anyway, so what is an OKR? An organizational key result, and then there's OKRs, which is organizational key result areas. We're going to be talking about ORIK, and that is objective result initiative KPI, and the KPI is a key performance indicator. So yes, there's a lot of acronyms, but at the end of the day, who cares? No one cares about whatever framework you use. No one cares about whatever, everyone's got their own flavor. Every consultant, every guru has their own flavor, and they love to put their words on top of it. Like if you've ever talked to someone in sales, you've got the AIDA model: awareness, interest, desire, action. But then there's people that have broken it up into like 20 things, and then they've got all this detail and rubbish for it. It doesn't really matter. What we need to do is just understand the high level concepts and delve into that. So what are OKRs to you, Amanda?
Well, so I mean, in my mind, and I'm hearing this a lot more often with clients as well, I've got this thing that I want to achieve, so I'm going to need a roadmap to get me there. Am I on the right track?
Well, yeah, I guess the scale of what needs to be achieved is the thing. That's the organizational key result that is needed. Mm-hmm. So is it like, I need to get a coffee for myself and my staff member today? No, not really. That's a pretty low level task. Good idea. I should do it for sure.
Yes, you should.
I'll have a long black. But the key result, the big thing, what's the big ticket item? It's kind of like, the result of your strategic planning is your organizational key results. So whilst people can talk to the cows come home on, some level of detail that drills down further into like this strategy or that strategy or some academic guff, we don't care. All right. So you need something that's understandable by the organization. And that's why you have OKRs, because you can whack it in a table. This leads to this, leads to that outcome. And it's really, really simple for everybody to understand. The OKR model was actually brought out by IBM, if you want to know a little bit of history.
There you go. And how long have they been using it for?
Well, I guess they got popular in like the 90s, 80s or 90s. So probably since around then.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. So proven methodology here, team.
Yeah. I mean, how important it really is it to know when it was founded. But we know that IBM's a huge freaking company, and they do a lot of cool stuff with a lot of expensive things and people. So they're still around after a very long time. I reckon they know what they're talking about. So I think the biggest problem is people get strategy wrong. Like people would say, my strategy is to make more money. That's not a strategy. Yes, that's something you want, but a strategy is something that puts your strength against someone else or something else is weakness. So what would you define a strategy? What would be a good strategy for a company, roughly?
So a strategy would be, oh gosh, on the spot here. Okay. Your strategy is to go out and acquire leads that lead to sales, that lead to profit. We're not getting into the weeds enough there, are we?
No, that's too far in the weeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zoom out for me.
Gain market share.
Okay, right. So it's like,
well, that's more of a goal. That's
the goal.
Like how you would get market share. So the strategic objective would be gain market share. Right. The strategy to achieve that would be beat the competition of what they're doing. Right.
Right. Okay.
But
got it.
You need to be clearer on what that is in order for it to be an actionable strategy. So, for example, we were talking before about someone who your strengths against someone else's weakness. So, if the major incumbent has the market share, all right, but they're really slow and maybe their service is a bit crappy. So you put your strength up against their weakness. So in order to gain market share, you need to be faster and better.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean you have to be cheaper. It just means you have to zero in on the thing that they're not doing effectively. Or maybe you're delivering something that they can't deliver or won't deliver, or you're doing it in a way that they're not able to do, or not, the market's not used to, right? Look at 1-800-GOT-JUNK, right? They're just a truck company.
Yes.
But their marketing is way better than any other junk receiving company.
Absolutely.
Their ads are very direct, and they're not the cheapest, but they're quick, and they'll pick up the phone in like 3 seconds or 3 rings or something like that. And that is a strategy that has made them a massive global company. Whereas before you had a lot of small players.
Yes.
That would, get to it when they get to it. They'll book you in next Wednesday. Instead of like, pick up the phone, we'll be there in an hour.
Got it. Yeah. And people need like that sort of service. They need quickly. They might be moving, or they might have stuff in the way. They're bringing something new into their house. They need stuff gone.
Well, yeah, and the strategy might be that they need more trucks, they need more people, so they can't be the cheapest, so they've got to charge more. But the thing that they're banking on is that someone in the market really needs something yesterday. Like, I need 100%. It in a hurry. Get it to you right now. So and all they do is make it really, really simple for the customer. They don't have to worry about the size of the skip bin. They don't have to worry about having a quote, somebody come out and do this and do that. You can literally take a photo, send it, and they'll go, yep, we've got the truck for that. We'll be out in an hour, and we'll pick it up and we'll go. Anyway.
That sounds amazing.
That's the strategy. So in order to do that, we need an OKR, right? So the objective is shorten delivery service time. So one initiative to do that would be answer the phone in 3 rings. No matter what, answer the phone in 3 rings. Then it would be even like in the first instance, because they're not going to go from small company in the backyard to 1,000 trucks on the road nationally. They need to have some ramp time. So in order to do that, they have to have several initiatives that they have to do over a period of time. So one of it might be improve the phone system. Another one might be get more people on the phones to answer faster.
Yes.
Another one might be improve the marketing proposition around the speed so that people do call them, and then they do actually capitalize on that momentum that they're trying to build in that initiative. So there's an objective, and then there's several tasks that they need to do that will achieve that objective. So that objective needs to be the speed, right? That's the speed of answering. The next objective would be hyper availability, which is a lot more capital investment. So they're probably best to do the first one before they do the second one. So the capital investment means they need more trucks and more crews on the road.
Right. And you're saying we ramp that up over time, right?
Well, yeah, because they're not going to have like $20 million like that just to spend on, 500 trucks or I don't know, whatever the numbers are. I'm pretty sure these trucks aren't cheap. And then you need the staff to be able to do it with the distribution across, capital cities to be able to do it. Exactly. So an initiative is something that might take a year to actually put in place or more. But you need the objective, you need the result area, which is faster delivery, faster call times, and then the initiative, which is the thing that you're going to do in a micro part to roll up to the result. Yeah. Am I making sense, or am I starting to drift all over the place?
No. So we're taking these smaller actions that lead to a larger result, which then leads into a larger result over time. So absolutely. Yeah. And
you kind of alluded to it before, where you said leads get more leads, which makes more sales, which then makes more profit, which is exactly an OKR, but you're looking bottom up rather than top down. And so it's not a problem. It's just the way that we're expressing it here today. And again, it really doesn't matter as long as you know what the cascading effect of, we need this to do this, because if you want to achieve big things, you need a lot of little things to add up to that big thing.
Yes, this is true.
And it takes time. So when you delegate now and at scale, you now need to put KPIs, because yes, if it's me, I could go, my objective is to get food in my belly. The key result is full. The initiative is cut the meat packet open, put the frying pan on the heat, put two and two together, spend time having it sear, and then put it on the plate, and then put it in my stomach. So they're the initiatives.
Yeah.
And I can achieve each of those, and some of them in parallel. The KPI is, am I full or not?
Was it tasty?
That could be another KPI.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yes.
So you can do that as an individual in your head on the fly. But once you start to scale, now you need other people telling you that they've done all of the things that they're supposed to do. And ideally, the KPI is something you can track over a period of time. So it might be that you want to remove yourself from day-to-day operations. That's the objective. The key result area would be write knowledge articles, make videos, document procedures for everybody. And then the KPI would be how many articles have been made this month, how many procedures have been made this month, what's the adherence to those procedures. So even though we said offline that I'd write down an example because I couldn't come up with the fly, I've used about 10 on the fly and not used the example that I've written down. So
he's nailing it, folks. He's nailing it.
I'm just on a rant. So we've got, the objective would be the best reviewed cafe in town. For a coffee shop.
Got it.
The result is have the most 5-star Google reviews.
5-star reviews. Yes.
Would be ask every customer for a Google review, improve the service quality, and improve the service time. You're more likely to get 5-star Google reviews.
Got it. And the KPI.
Yeah.
Each barista or each service person has to get X amount of reviews per week, or is that kind of the?
Well, yeah. I mean, you could have. It depends on whether you can measure it exactly with analytics, or if it's something you have to infer with sample data. So, like if I'm the supervisor standing in the store and I'm watching the servers, and if they're asking every person, and if I might watch them for an hour, and if I could see that they're asking every single person, then that's a sample of data. But if I did that sporadically throughout the week and said that on 5 out of 5 hours that I observed the staff, they were asking for Google reviews. But across a 40-hour week and across several hundred customers, I can't watch every single person, every single interaction, every single time. So you just got to take sporadic samples. So it's a KPI. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. The other one would just be how many did you actually get? So because you might ask for 1 million but get one or none.
Right.
So what's the execution result of that? Could you improve that with a card that says, please leave a Google review? Here's your free coffees on us when you show us your Google review. That's a bit of bribery, but you get the idea.
Still, I love that. Yeah.
And
definitely.
you reduce the friction. You put a QR code directly to where they've got to do it. And so they just go, bip, type it in, show you a 5-star review to get a free coffee.
Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. I do know. Well, I know people that do 5% off when you do that. So, little incentives, right? So, and then average number of coffees per hour could be another KPI. Like that would speak more to your efficiency and speed, not necessarily on service quality. Because then you got to be careful of some incentives driving the wrong outcome. So if you just went all about speed and not about quality, then you're going to get a lot of fast crap coffees.
Yeah, which no one wants that.
No. Yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of talking. Do you have any reflections, thoughts, questions, problems, ideas?
No, look, just there's in my mind while we were talking about that, I'm like, okay, how do you create an environment or a culture where these things are just happening on a daily basis regardless? And it doesn't just have to be an initiative that's over the short term. You always want to be getting more 5-star reviews, right? So how do you make that part of the culture?
Have an OKR for it.
Yes, exactly.
Drive a culture of excellence as an objective, right? Initiatives would be track key metrics in the business. Because if what gets measured gets managed. If you're not checking for it, it's not going to happen. You don't want to create so many metrics that the people just go, I'm so frustrated. All I'm doing all day, every day is creating metrics. You just need a few of the key ones that are the drivers for the next thing and the next thing. So if someone has to fill a report at the end of the day where they answer 5 questions, that's probably not going to break the bank. It could be how many, or maybe they have to prove something, or maybe every time someone writes a review, they snap a photo of it, or they'll take a punch card or something like that, or they'll note it down in a book or something like that. As long as there's a way to count something like that, that's a very manual and a physical kind of way. Or you could even just look in the till and say if they got the 5% Google review discount, you could run that report without having to force the staff to do anything other than they're going to click the button anyway. So it's going to make it a lot easier for you to count that. So you ideally want the data to come from the systems naturally by virtue of the way they're built, not by asking your team to do more stuff.
That makes sense. And question for you. So would you focus on one thing at a time? So would it be, this month we're focusing on Google reviews, or would you say, okay, Google reviews and upsell to a muffin and...
Well, you can't train everything all in one go.
Okay.
Yeah. You definitely should be doing all of those things simultaneously.
Yeah.
But maybe you do a focus each month on training, because you're going to have people who are incumbent doing it all day, every day, naturally, because that's what they know they've got to do. And then you've got new people, and then you're just giving it a new focus each time.
Got it. Beautiful. So we're still achieving all of the outcomes that we're looking to achieve while having a focus each month, so our staff aren't overwhelmed.
Yeah, and just topping up their knowledge as we go. And then that'll make them curious in the in-between times to go, I should learn more about this, or I should learn more about that, because they see everybody else doing it.
Absolutely.
And they know that it's going to come up anyway, so they may as well learn about it.
Exactly. Nailed it.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much a good, quick, down and dirty OKR session. If that's OKR with you, I think we'll call it a day. Snuck in another one again. But I think if anyone else has got questions, if you're watching this, you should be definitely hitting the like and subscribe button. And we should also be adding any other questions that you've got in the comments so that we can bring them up in the next video. If you join the Relevate community, we've got heaps of answers to questions, problems, queries, and you can watch more videos like this, or ask more questions, and we can give you more specific answers to your specific situation. Otherwise, I think that's it.
It is. Avon, thanks for hanging out with me, and remember to stay classy.
Beat me to it. All good. See ya.